say this. The master class to you dumbass black people that continue to fight the police at these traffic stops is your face will hit the pavement. And these type of people like this idiot are making it dangerous for our black boys. When police see somebody, they're going to think they're going to give them a hard way to go.
Can you call your supervisor? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement?
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor.
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the vehicle. 25 seconds. For 9-4, the driver just slammed the door and locked it.
Call your supervisor.
I've already told you. Right now you're under arrest for resisting. Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. I'm about to break the window.
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle!
What is your reason, sir? Step out. What is your reason? Step out now. No, don't touch it.
Get on the track.
Put your hands behind your back! Hands behind your back!
You gonna throw my phone like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro.
Marijuana in his right pocket.
Yes, it is!
So I didn't do nothing.
It's called resisting, idiot!
I didn't do nothing.
Yep. He's a dumbass idiot. And I said it. And and he should be on the ground like that. This is my personal opinion. There is a longer video, and I think we've all watched the full body cam. The officer did put him under arrest. He said, "You're under arrest." He kept asking him to get out of the car.
Yes, he was technically under arrest. It was beyond detainment. The detainment would have come in the beginning when he pulled him over to see his license and registration, whatever. That would have been the detainment part for that time period. But yes, he was technically under arrest. Number one. Number two, that part right there, I like to say I'm so glad that I actually watched the long video first before I saw the dash cam video. I'm glad I watched it in that order, and I also watched the sheriff's press conference yesterday or whenever it was.
We have that too.
Yeah, I watched that, so I'm glad I watched it in that order. I don't think that part was excessive. Okay, that guy was as wrong as two left shoes. A traffic stop, number one, is one of the most common stops for police. That's number one. Number two, they can also be some of the most dangerous stops. Okay, along with
dangerous.
Along with domestic violence incidents, or if you will, those are the most dangerous stops for a police officers to make. It did not, when he closed that door, when the officer said pull over, your lights, whatever, the lights were off, no seat, whatever the case may be, pull over and take out your KJ real quick. Just 2 weeks ago, I was actually driving into the studio, right? Looking all, dressed up, whatever. I actually think the police officer wanted to stop me because he just wanted to see who was in the car because I have tint on my windows, right? But he claims that I didn't fully stop at a stop sign, right? No big deal. What did I do? When I saw the lights go on, I pulled over. I reached for my ID. I knew he was going to come. He came, knocked on the window. Hi, how you doing? Do you know why you stopped? I really didn't know. I thought I stopped long enough, so to speak, right? I really didn't. I was like, no. He said, the stop sign. I said, I thought I stopped there. He said, no, you didn't stop. Fine, no problem. Gave him my ID. Guess what? He came back and he said, nice to meet you. Thank you. And gave me a warning. That's it. Yeah. 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. But I knew that this guy was revving up. Again, there are some quote unquote excessive parts, if you will. But bottom line, he was wrong.
This is my opportunity to share the information with the public, right? And so now we still continue to refer to the social media video. when I just showed you body cam videos with much more information. Let's acknowledge that, because that's important. The importance is I'm showing you the video, the body cam video, from the entire incident from start until they had to turn it off, or we stop it for time, for time's sake.
Do you know if McNeil ever filed a formal complaint?
He did not.
Agency,
he did not.
Never came up
He never filed a formal complaint, which we'd have been all over it, if had that been the case. But he did not. Go ahead, Eric.
So I just want to get back to the punch. This is just to be a yes or no question.
Wait, Eric, are you going to tell me how to answer a question?
I'm just keeping it simple.
All right, go ahead.
Was it appropriate for the officer to punch this guy in the jaw after he'd already broken the window? Was that yes or no? Was that appropriate?
It depends on the circumstances. But it's already determined it's not criminal. Now we're going to look for JSO policy violations. How about that? Is that good?
Well, if a civilian did that to another civilian, they would be in handcuffs.
No, not necessarily. It depends on the circumstances, the situation. I know that's how you want it to be. I know there's a tendency to want to be some massive cover-up that is not. That's why I'm here. I stand up, we talk to you about what happened, we give you what we can give you, then it's up to you guys to report it. But
do you think the public is going to buy that?
I don't know. My point is,
Do you think the black community is going to buy that?
don't use the black thing. Don't use. I'm a black man. Wait, hold on, Eric. Hold on. Stop for a second, because you're trying to be incendiary, and this is not the time for it. This is me sharing information with our public, right? The whole statements about the black issue. I wouldn't work here if we're after black men or black people, period. I can tell you he wouldn't. I can tell you any other African American or black male or female that works here wouldn't work here if our black citizens are under siege. Not the case. Not at all. I've been alive probably a little bit longer than you have. Haven't had any of these issues. You know why? Because if I was ever stopped by the police, which I was when I was a young man, and they asked me to do something, I did it. It's simple. Simple compliance. It doesn't rise. It doesn't get out of control. That stuff doesn't happen then. Do as we ask you to do. If you don't like the word compliance, just do as we ask you to do then, so that we can get finished. Then you tell us about it if you feel like your rights were violated, and we can deal with it. That's the way it should work.
Excellent.
Listen, I think he is a tremendous sheriff. He didn't come out and say, hey, my guys are 100% right. He said, okay, this is the whole video. I've shown you every kind of purview of this video that happened, but make no mistake, this guy didn't even file a complaint. He was 100% in the wrong. When the police give you a lawful order, whether you like it or not, and this thing with call your supervisor, you really think calling a supervisor out there is going to change anything? You see this all the time on these TikToks that call your supervisor. The supervisor is going to be even angrier at you than the cop that you're dealing with. I have 19 nephews, number 20 is on the way. And I have told them all their whole lives, do what you're asked to do. Follow the directive. At the end of that process, when I come to get you, you then can tell me about all the wrongs, and we can lawyer up and we can fight them in a way that's meaningful. But what's not going to happen is you're going to see any of my nephews on the side of the road with a broken window getting smashed in the face and dragged on the ground because he refused to take a damn parking or a ticket for not having his windshield wipers on and his lights on in the rain. It is simple. Comply. You don't want to comply because, the police aren't here to help us. Certain communities say that. And when I say certain communities, I mean my community. We say that all the time. This is not an us versus them situation. And I love that this sheriff said that. Don't give me that black stuff. I'm a black man and I would not be here if this police department targeted black people. He shut it down and he did it in a way that left everybody in that room stunned silent. That was absolutely superb. He could teach a master class on how to handle the press when it comes to something like this.
And let me say this. The master class to you dumbass black people that continue to fight the police at these traffic stops is your face will hit the pavement and you'll be roughed up. And yes, he deserved a punch. He should have gave him closed fist, but it was open. It wasn't even a punch. He mushed him with the palm. It was a palm strike. And let's talk about facts and the law. Officers have discretion to use a reasonable amount of force that they think is necessary to gain compliance and detain the suspect. Okay, and that was necessary 3 times. 7 times he asked him. He told the suspect to open the door. Open the door. 3 times he said, "Open the door, or we're going to break the window." So he asked him 7 times to just open the door. Then 3 times he said, "Open the door, or we're going to break the window." Another thing, this guy is suspect all the way around. First of all, it took him 6 months to actually do all this stuff, make the outcry about the stop and all this because he wants money. Okay. Next, the reason why he didn't want to comply is because, one, he had marijuana in his right pocket. Okay, he didn't have his lights on, and inclement weather, and we saw the rain on the window, so it was drizzling somewhat, but there was an overcast as well, and he was driving on a suspended license. He also didn't have his seatbelt on. So again, use of force is predicated on what the officer deems as reasonable, and when he did not, after all that went forward, they had to break his window. Yeah, they say they don't know what he had in the car. Speaking of what he had in the car, there was a knife on the floor when they went through the car. He had a big 12-inch knife on the floor of the car front seat. Okay, folks, when these officers pull you over, the officer doesn't know you. This man had tinted windows also. They don't know you. It is a adversarial meeting. They don't know you. You don't know the officer. You have to comply because this is their lives that are in danger. That guy could have easily, if he had a gun in the car, he could have easily shot that cop. These cops want to go home too. Follow directions. It's as simple as that.
I want to address what's that, Brown Eyes, I think. Unfortunately, I mean, not, I don't know, fortunately, I do agree with Brown Eyes. I think he's going to win his case, number one.
Yeah, he is.
I think he will. Yeah, unfortunately, Crump is his lawyer. Why, who else would you expect to be, right? I think he's going to win. And let me say this. I'm going to play the other side, if you will. Because he had a knife, carrying knives in Florida or guns are not necessarily illegal. I'm just saying some of the possibilities, right? I don't know if he was barred from having a knife or a gun or any other weapon. I don't know that as far as his legal status or his case or whatever. But I also think Crump is going to argue that whether or not he filed charges right away or 6 months later is irrelevant if he did it within the time frame for the statute of limitations.
Oh yeah, I know he's going to get paid.
So I think he's going to get paid too.
Guess what? For all you guys that are out there, salivating over him getting money, okay? Guess what?
That's tax.
You're paying for it, dummies. You're paying for it because when the city has to pay out on these types of lawsuits that really they shouldn't get a dime. When they do that, you're paying for it out of your insurance, out of property taxes, and so on. You're gonna pay for it when they file these frivolous lawsuits and have to get paid all this money.
And KJ, another thing about this, which is really frustrating and infuriating, is that people like this young man, he is setting an example for other Black men, young men, who will, and because I see this type of behavior, they post this kind of defiance behavior, and this guy just got punched a little bit. Someone else might get seriously hurt or even, not live after this kind of encounter if he resists any further. So this kind of behavior also sets a horrible example. And if he gets paid, that's even worse because they'll encourage other people to behave like this with the police.
We're seeing this all over the place. We're seeing people get belligerent with the police now. They do not respect not only police, but any type of authority. Anywhere you go, look at what we're seeing on the airlines now. You can't even take a flight without these people acting a total fool, cussing and fussing and fighting at airline stewardess, at the pilots, anybody in any type of authority. They do not respect it because they're looking for a payday. They're looking for a payday. It really makes me sick. I'm so sick of ignorant people. I really am.
You know what's crazy, KJ? And I'm trying to find the silver lining in this dark cloud for Florida taxpayers are going to have to pony up this money. A fool and his money are soon parted. Mm-hmm. He's going to blow through that money like a hot knife through butter. So really, you're just stimulating your own economy in the long run, right? But it's going to suck for the police. It really is going to be, okay, what then tell me where the line is, right? It's already tough to recruit police officers. It's super tough to retain them because most of them don't want to have to live through this to be sued.
Right.
Like
I wouldn't.
And we don't even have the
Right.
law enforcement officers' Bill of Rights anymore. The Democrat legislature repealed that. So you're not going to see any Maryland cop put any extra effort in. They're crime reporters, right? This crime happened. We'll take a nice report, go to court and see what happens. There's no zeal to go out and get the bad guy anymore because they're not protected. And we should do much better by our law enforcement officers. I, like you, KJ, I'm sick of this. Did you see that story about that girl who showed up in her underwear in a house?
Oh, yeah, with the robe, yeah.
Talking about, and now, and doggone well, if spirit won't let you fly.
Oh, that's what.
If spirit won't let you, that is the soul plane of the skies. You hear me? It is the Greyhound bus of the skies. If they won't let you fly because you're inappropriately dressed and you feel some kind of way, what are we doing here? You're a whole grown woman. You don't come outside in your bathrobe and your underwear talking about shorts. That's not shorts. Those are drawers. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Culturally, there's a part of
devolved
that's not going to make it.
And then you have people taking up for this stuff. You got vultures, like bottom feeders, like this illiterate Benjamin Crumb. I call him Crumb. He's a crumb. He's a piece of nothing. He makes me sick.
That day, I just really wanted to know, why I was getting pulled over and why I needed to step out the car when I know I didn't do nothing wrong. I was really just scared. And that's it.
His teeth was actually broke when you still sit there. Could you just, this was a violent encounter.
What I was taught is to, instead of fighting them on the street where we don't have power at, fight them in the courts.
If they're proud of the conduct on the video, then they should release the officers' names.
I seen what my son did that I had to do. And he sought right. And he did right. To see that it's a hurting feeling.
The day I seen that video, I couldn't finish it past the window breaking, but I'm thankful to God for protecting him because I know what the outcome could have been.
My gosh. I didn't even know. I hadn't even seen the whole video. Didn't know the whole family looked like Franklin. The turtle. These things. These folks don't have an ounce of intelligence in their bodies. This should have been a lesson for him. A lesson, but they're out here just taking up for this stuff. It's ridiculous.
Look, even if again, let's just say some of the people who are saying it was excessive, let's just say for argument's sake, they have a point, right? They might. But when I heard that Ben Crump was the attorney, I knew right then and there, right? That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. Now they done brought on the family soul, to give the tears and the acting and, the little quivering lip on the father. And I knew it. It was not, this is all for show. This is the diaspora.
Oh. Nicole. They ready. They're going to get paid. They're going to get paid.
And be broke inside of a year. Let me tell you. He's going to have all gold fronts, all gold bottoms. It's just going to be money through a sieve. But what the father should have said, right? Be a father and say, son, you was wrong as two left shoes. And he asked you to give him your information. Give him the information. Oh, wait, you're a sovereign citizen and you don't believe you have to give them your information. Then say that. Say that so they can call the sheriff and the sheriff can come over and tell you, you can be as sovereign as you want to, but you're going to take this L, homie. This is what this is. You can go to court and fight later, but just to sit there, lock the door, close the door, and ignore them when they're screaming at you at the top of their lungs, unlock the door, put down the window. They did everything humanly possible for this not to be the outcome. But at some point, you have to comply. Whether you do it willingly or they force you into compliance, you will bend that knee. They will put you face down and secure that scene. You become a greater threat when they think, oh, I can't see what he's doing in the car. He might be loading a gun. He might be like some of these videos I've seen, these crazy young women get in the car, slam the door, and try to take off and run over 5 or 6 cops because they were scared.
That just happened in New York. I think in New York City that just happened, and they killed a 60-year-old woman.
Yeah. It is ridiculous to me. We have got to do better with our youth. I'm just going to say there's a generation we just going to have to scratch through their name and move on to the next. But this is endemic. It is absolutely. I mean, there's 1,000,001 videos on YouTube of the people taking a simple traffic ticket and turning it into a felony all over the place. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Yana. I have no words. I have no words.
Me neither. This kid, he acts like he never got a real whooping in his life, ever. From that video with the police, the way he behaved and how he almost cried at the end, and to now, where the parents are whispering in his ear what he should be saying, how he was hurt. He never had a real upbringing, and it's unfortunate. And his teeth, did he really lose those teeth at that encounter? Or it just happened like 6 months later and now he's saying, like,
who knows? They all look like, the before of everything after. I mean, that was one family. I'll change my mind. Give them the money. Because I hope maybe they can. These type of people like this idiot are making it dangerous for our Black boys. Because when police see somebody, they're going to think they're going to give them a hard way to go.
Yeah, but then we expect our police not to do that. We expect them to be able to draw the line. Yeah.
Newsflash, don't feel bad, KJ. Everybody profiles because everybody has a bias, and profiling at the very least is a self-protective mechanism. Believe you me, I profile every damn day because there's certain areas I'm not going to go in, certain areas I'm not going to drive, and if I see certain people doing certain things, looking like certain things in certain places, damn it, I'm profiling. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah. But that's how stereotypes are born. That's how stereotypes are
stereotype, bias, profiling. No, I do it.
I get it. No. And that's why people do stereotype and profile, because this type of behavior continues. It doesn't stop. So like that's what KJ was saying, is that it perpetuates the stereotype, makes it worse. Even when people want to be, I don't know, what's the word? Blind, race blind or color blind.
Right.
It's hard to do that when this kind of behavior continues.
Listen, it happens on both sides, though. I will say this, and people are dumb across the board. But when you're dumb to a point where you put your own personal safety at risk, that rises from your average everyday dumb across the board to something very very specific. And you're right, KJ and Evie, Shelly, you're right. It puts something in their head that, okay, you're a little bit extra above regular dumb. And every time I see somebody with tinted windows driving that kind of make, model of car, I'm going to have to come at them from a certain perspective to protect myself, because I want to go home too. I got a family that loves me too. So I'm not going to get out here and get shot, stabbed, maimed, whatever the new YouTube, euphemism is for jacking up police officers. They want to go home. They just want to help the community protect, and serve, but they want to go home too. They have families just like everybody else, and I'm hopeful that, this jury is going to take into consideration a couple of things. One, I understand that he claims to be a sovereign citizen. So you can't have it both ways. Either, our laws apply to you or our laws do not.
Oh,
So
you know what? We have a